Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by Demico, Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, and Ram, serving the Finger Lakes since 1963. And DIRTtrackdigest.com. If it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day. Welcome to 31st Lap, episode number 105. We got some conversation about Daytona. What do you want up there? You want your,
I want
your
it
headset louder?
I can't hear it.
Can you hear it now?
I can hear it now.
There you go. I can hear you feeding back through this thing over here.
I'm not feeding back, eh?
No, through this over here, the extra headset for
Did
the
you
phone.
just say A?
Yeah, I did. I want to make our Canadian fans feel welcome
He
on
just
this
jumped
show.
over the border for a minute.
Do we have any?
No. We don't have any fans, period.
What are you talking about? Craig Ravel's a fan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's more American
You're right.
than Canadian.
He doesn't count. He's an honorary.
He's got the Canadian accent.
Eh?
A?
We're gonna talk about the Daytona 500. We're gonna
Why?
talk about.
I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch
We're
it.
gonna give about 3 minutes to it, and then we're gonna catch up with Guererri. We're gonna talk to Justin Haers, picking up a win at the DIRTcar Nationals at Volusia.
His first Super DIRTcar Series victory.
Now I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not for sure if that's quite accurate
I'm
because
pretty sure it is, isn't it?
They're labeling it as one, but I'm sorry, it was not.
It's not. It's part of the Super Dirt Series. It counts as on the schedule.
that's not even where I was
So-
going with that.
But this
because-
is where he's going to go with it.
That's where I was going.
No, because way back when he was driving the Sweeteners Plus car, when they had the two tour races the same night. They had Cornwall, and then they had like the alternate race that was at Weedsport. Didn't that also count as a tour race for something?
According to him, he said, I've won some big races. I finished second in a series race, but I've never won.
There you go. That
there-
answers that.
It's right on the DIRTcar website. It's his first one, but I don't know.
You
There's
trust everything you read on the internet?
I put an asterisk there if it was up to me.
So you're going to asterisk his win. I don't know if we need
Well,
to do
it's
that.
not a point show. It's not a full show. It was a regular 30-lapper. It's different.
Whatever, dude. Why you gotta hate? You
I'm not hating.
You
I'm
couldn't
just
even
pointing
win
out
if it was 2 laps.
I'm just pointing out the facts.
The
I'll
fact
tell you
is, he
why.
won, and they
Let me-
counted as a series race.
Let me go ahead and point out exactly why he's going to hate.
Because it's
Justin
Canandaigua. It's
Hares
the
is
Canandaigua
Canandaigua.
car. As soon as the
No,
Canandaigua
no.
car, I got to give him crap.
No. It's got nothing to do with it.
It has everything to do with it.
If Bobby Varon was driving that car, it still wouldn't count because that car runs at Canandaigua.
Yeah, that's it.
It's got nothing to do with it.
You're right.
It doesn't matter who wins those
What do you
races.
mean?
It's not a Super Dirt Series.
course
If Dwayne Howard won that race, it's not a Super Dirt Series race.
You'd be like,
Whatever.
I know it's
If
at the
Dwayne
beginning of
Howard,
the
I'd have to
schedule.
sit here and hear how good Dwayne Howard is.
I'm
Dwayne
making
Howard
a-
this and Dwayne Howard that.
I'm trying to
Shut
say that it's
up.
not got nothing to do with who it was
Shut
that
up.
won it or where he comes from.
This is a 31st lap powered by Demico, Chrysler, Dodge Jeep. We're going to go ahead. I wish you were this passionate about the Daytona 500.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you sit through the 7 hours of rain delay in order to...
Oh, yeah, we went
I'm so
to,
glad that they got the other 150 laps in so we'd actually see it come to a conclusion.
I didn't watch any. You know what?
But
Here's what
that
sucks.
was shaping up to be a really, really good race until they had that last...
Those restricted plates are never good.
There were 7 laps to go. There was a couple guys that were moving. I thought it was going to be a decent race right up until they threw that last yellow flag, which, I mean, of course, it had
Was
to
the yellow
happen.
flag
but
in that race?
Can you believe it?
No, because I was on a freaking plane.
In the last, and then it sets up the green, white checker finish, and at Daytona it really didn't change anything. So it was unfortunate. Congratulations to Junior, good move. The number 3 car made a triumphant return, taking out his teammates. That was cool. And Matt Kenseth managed to not tear anything up on Sunday after failing to make
No,
a
but
clean
somebody
sweep.
else took his place.
Yeah. Woo.
How about your boy wrecking on the first lap all by himself?
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you're sitting here making fun of
That's
everybody
life.
else. Kyle Larson
What
can't.
do you mean?
go
Everybody? I haven't made fun of anybody. What are
You
you
make
talking
fun of
about?
everybody all the time.
Kyle Larson
What are you
brought out.
talking about?
Kyle Larson he brought out the first 2 yellows, didn't he?
Yeah. he
Well,
did.
actually, he brought out the first yellow. The first time he crashed, they never brought out a yellow. He
'Cause
pitted under green
cleared.
and
Okay.
lost the lap.
Okay, so
But then he crashed again, and that brought out a yellow.
That
he was
one
the
was a
first.
good
He
one.
was the first car to crash both times.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was the first one on pit road.
Unfortunate. And then he ended up getting dumped again. I remember seeing him sailing through.
Yeah, by somebody that took out half the field.
Was anybody else entertained that Kyle Larson's car looked a whole lot like the number 22 that Bobby Elson drove, the Miller American car?
The white and the red.
Yeah,
That was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
I'm getting crap because
Well, I'm trying to give you some Miller credit.
No,
over
I'm
there.
getting crap right now.
I
This
didn't-
is
yeah,
not
I
a-
didn't see
This is
that.
not a. This is not a NASCAR show, but it's the Daytona 500. It's the only time we talk about NASCAR.
It's whatever the hell we want it to
Well,
be.
it's not the only time we're talking about it, but how do you not bring up at least You have to bring up the Daytona.
There's nothing else going on.
This is a motorsport
There was
show.
racing in Florida that was really good, but
you were down there for that.
yeah, I was every day. It was pretty.
How
freaking
exciting
cool.
were those late model races?
I don't know. I didn't watch them.
I'm sorry.
No, actually, I
Come
watched. Let's see, Ivan at Lloyd's win. The only one I missed the
Cool
whole
win.
week was Casey Roberts because they flip flopped.
Right.
Basically, when the late
Stop
models
the
and the
orders.
UMP mods were there, I covered
Right.
the late models for DTD, and then when the big blocks got there,
Nice hat, by the
I
way.
watched the big blocks. You like that?
Yeah,
You like that?
Cuts down on a lot of glare that we were dealing
You know
with
what? The
before.
other thing it does? I don't even have to mention it anymore. I just wear the hat. It's branding. Branding, I like to call it.
I like the coats too,
Hold
by the
on.
way. Did
Yeah,
anybody
we got
see
some
the
nice coats, courtesy of Bob Hilbert
those
Sportswear?
coats
They
are
did them for us.
outstanding.
Give Heather Deo a call. She'll hook you up.
Actually, that reminds me. I got to call Heather Deo because I got a guy looking for some stuff up here.
for some shirts.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was
Small
good,
runs, short runs.
Yeah, it was I had a great week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I had fun. I was in
Well, of
Florida.
course, you had.
I'm
a great
in Florida.
week. You're in
I'm on the
freaking
beach.
Florida.
I'm on the beach. I didn't get a tan. I didn't burn.
How can a white guy like you not get burned?
Because I didn't go outside.
Yeah.
You know-
Well, okay.
You know the one
Fair.
thing. I mean,
You didn't go
I'm not-
outside
He
till
was-
after the sun
yeah,
went
the
down.
sun went down, right.
I'm not gonna sit and bitch, but I'm gonna sit and bitch for a second. Like the one thing that really people don't get is like when you're working this stuff, you don't really have time to go to the beach and
No.
hang out. You know,
No.
you're busy.
Nope.
I mean, I literally got up every day 8:00, and then from there it was me, myself, GT, and George,
Me, myself, and I?
DC, and George. We have George has a timeshare there, and luckily I get to stay with him. But we basically get up from 8 till noon, and you work. You're doing photos. I'm writing, editing, putting up this, doing that, updating front page, all that stuff. And GT Smith was helping us with that too. So
You have the luxury of being able to write after you get some sleep.
Well, yeah.
Some folks down there working with organizations,
they're working.
they have to write
like
that
Dolak
night.
didn't leave the tower at the racetrack till 4 a.m. I
Forget
mean, I have the
that.
luxury of going back to the room and at least getting some sleep. So that was nice. But
Leave at 4 in the morning.
well, basically, what I would do is I'd type up all my quotes the night before, and then I'd go to bed, get up in the morning, and then put everything together because it's hard to, if you're exhausted, it's hard to put anything together. Yeah, no, I wasn't. Not once. No, sadly. So, nope.
Well, that was a wasted freaking trip then.
Not really. I mean, I saw great racing. The sprint car racing was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Go on.
I'm just saying.
I want to hear more about the sprint car racing.
Well, you didn't watch on Dirt Vision. You
No,
watched
I
on Dirt
didn't.
Vision.
No.
It was.
I watched the
really,
sprint car portion on.
I mean,
on
you
Dirt
saw-
Vision. What I could see of it.
I mean, Saldana won Thursday night. I wasn't there for that. Friday night was the 3-car battle that Brad Sweet won. Was it Tim Schaefer and Paul McMahon? Unbelievable race. And then on Saturday, Donnie Schatz won. And let me tell you, Donnie Schatz, he won't ever say that this is what he was doing, but Schatz put a move on Pittman that was like, listen, pal, I'm here. You're not winning this championship again. He went into 3 and 4, and it was just his power slide job up across the nose. It was impressive.
Did he roll out of it coming out just a little bit so that you really had to check him?
No.
No?
No. He didn't
No,
have to
not
check up. It
not
was
that bad?
It was,
Yeah.
I'm that much better than you, so suck it, kind of move. So, and then, I mean, Steve Kinzer and Darren Pittman went at it on Sunday night, and that was unbelievable. Then Kinzer gets out of the car. It's like the first race he ever won.
Yeah.
He was
Really?
like, woo!
He was
like
excited.
screaming and
well,
stuff. Yeah.
I think he realizes that.
I would like to introduce
he-
everyone to the new compressors that we have. Mike just did the woo, and
Did
it
I-
didn't
did I
blow-
break 'em?
No, it didn't
Did
blow
I-
anybody out. I hope.
Did I blow anybody out at home?
I think he realizes that his career is obviously winding down. He's going to stop running with Outlaws full time at the end of this season, and I think he was
Well, the
just glad
funniest
to
thing
get
he
one
said
out
to
of the
me-
way early,
The
right out of
funniest
the
thing he
box.
said to me, he goes, maybe I made that announcement too soon.
Did he?
Let's face it. The last few years, he's
Yeah.
taken a lot of hard hits. The last few years, he's not winning a
He's
lot
not
of
been
races.
good,
No, so to win out of the box like that, I'm sure it felt really, really
And it was,
good.
and you could tell he
Because
wanted
who knows
it.
that? I'm not saying this is going to happen, but that could be the only one he wins all year. Who knows?
I read on the internet that to symbolize passing the torch, he's going to let Donnie Schatz run the 11 next year. I read that on the internet.
Shut up.
no.
It must be true.
Yeah.
No.
Bonjour.
No. Yeah. I'm a French model. That's what I keep telling myself. No, but no. There's
You got to believe it. You got to believe it.
it was good. I mean, Schatz was good. Pittman. I think
Some
Pittman.
places you draw the line.
I kind of feel like Pittman screwed himself twice because he had 2 chances on restarts, and both times he was on the bottom. He chose the bottom, and it screwed him both times. The one time, the Kinzer, the what made that race good is he restarted on the bottom, and I thought he jumped the start a little bit,
No way.
but they let it go. But
Couldn't happen.
Kinzer, Kinzer slide jobbed him, then Pittman
Yeah,
slide
that
jobbed him
stuff
back,
doesn't
then
happen.
Kinzer slide jobbed him, and then it was back and forth. But The last restart I didn't think, but it made the race, so whatever.
On the topic
fine.
of slide jobs and you're talking about the sprint cars and stuff. Did you happen to see the clip that I put up on Facebook last week? I mean, I know you don't make a habit of going to my Facebook page, but it was. You
have a Facebook page?
Yeah. I almost said that, and I don't want to. Argo, I believe, is what Mike was introducing. It was Mark Kinzer and one of the Blaneys in the Vivron car, and this track was wicked heavy and ruddy, and they were just trading wheel stands, going back and forth. It was a heat race from someplace years ago, but it was neat. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I remember from sprint cars when they were around here. It's just when they would go out there for time trials and the track would be so wet and heavy, and they pulled wheel stands the whole way down the backstretch of Canandaigua.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. So I had fun in Florida. I mean, it was awesome, and I,
Did you get over to the big track at all? You didn't, did you?
Yeah, I bought souvenirs, then I left. I did my normal Mike Mallet routine in Florida.
You walked in and said, "I can see more at home."
Nope. I didn't even bother.
Boy, that ain't the truth.
I did let's see, I'm here in Florida. Let's go watch sprint cars. That was awesome. 3 nights of sprint cars. So
I can't believe you didn't go to East Bay at all.
And then, how can I? What? Okay, let's just talk about this for a second. What website do I own? What do people on there want to read about?
You have other people. It's not just you, is it?
Most people on... No.
It's not just you, right?
It's just me. And Mandy Pouch this week, who did a hell of a job, by the way. If you didn't get a chance...
So.
Did you read her blogs? What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, John, did you read them? No.
I don't read. I look at pictures.
Plane. He went the Fort... Well, there you go.
I watch videos and look at pictures. That's easy. Don't ask me to watch a movie with subtitles. Forget it.
When listen, I knew he grew up in Fort Plain. I know the deal. He can't read.
I had to coming from the dude who grew up in Fort Plain.
I know.
That's pretty good.
That's why I know.
I had to sub a French class this week, and we had to show a video and
about French kissing.
No, no, but there was an option to either play the video with subtitles or not.
Ugh, good lord!
Didn't
good
play
luck, ladies and gentlemen.
If I got to read the movie, then it's not a friggin' movie.
I did not play the subtitles.
It's a book with pictures.
Jesus.
Which you like. You like pictures. Just follow along.
Yeah. But so that was good. Let's see. What else did I did the diecast. I went to flea market, bought diecast.
What'd you get?
Let's see. This trip I got a Bobby Davis car, a Kevin Goldbrecht car, sprint car, a Steve Kinzer Quaker State car, a Donnie Schatz STP orange car, the orange. That's a Knoxville car. And then what was the other sprint car I bought? I think I bought 4 sprint cars. No, wait, 4. 1, 2. I got one. Oh, a Max Dumsney from Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I bought a Steve Francis late model.
Which one?
It was a Mopar car, number 1.
Oh, you got the Mopar one?
Yeah. It was
30
you got
bucks.
this.
You
30
got
bucks. How can you go wrong?
You got the Richards car.
Yeah. And then I got 2 dirt modifieds. I got a Wentworth Hearn car.
Yeah.
And I got a Billy Pouch K&A excavating car, both of which I did get autographed for myself.
Cool.
Yeah, so I had a good little diecast trip. Not as good as my Knoxville haul, but not bad. Now I got to look forward towards Knoxville.
I didn't hear any midgets in that list.
Yeah, and I don't think you're gonna.
I got one, man. You know what's actually nobody sold midgets down there. None.
Really?
No, not one midget did I see for sale.
Even with USAC being in Florida.
This is bordering.
No, because the flea market that you go to, it's actually right next to the racetrack. It's like right just down the road. So half of it's like all racing people, like it's all racing diecast. I gotta tell you, the guy I buy from, I don't know where he's from, but I need to buy more from that dude because that dude is cheap. Like I got the diecast cars, like, and he'll will and deal with you. Like he was selling the brand new diecast that are 65 everywhere else for $50. Mm-hmm. And he's like, if you buy 2, I'll take $20 off a piece. I'm like,
Christ, a third of the Daytona 500 field was from USAC.
yeah. I didn't see any of the USAC stuff. Did you? I didn't see any of it.
No.
I didn't see highlights. Nothing.
Because
I think Loud Pedal did one video.
Well, I was watching East Bay, the king of the 360s, and since I already had that to watch, and a little bit, I would listen to Volusia whenever East Bay was down for track prep or whatever. So I didn't buy the USAC deal. I'm kind of glad I didn't too, because they lost a night.
Yeah.
You would have bought 3 days, and they ended up only running 2 races.
Yeah. That sucked that they can't. I mean, Volusia.
East
I got
Bay
there.
Got all theirs,
what was it? Volusia canceled Thursday night. It was Friday night.
Friday.
We got there Saturday, and it was still a punt. Oh no, we went to New Smyrna.
Out of those 3,
right? We went to Smyrna.
Right.
Georgia
Smyrna
and I
ran that
going
night.
to Smyrna.
Daytona ran that night.
And then who won at Smyrna? Justin Bonsignor. That was actually for pavement modified race. It was pretty good. It was Ronnie Silk led it, and then Eric Goodell passed him, and then Bonsignori came from like a straightaway behind in 25 laps to pass both of them. So it was pretty good.
I know Stephen Wallace had a pretty good week there, 2 weeks.
Yeah, he was
like
he was
overall
leading the race
champion
that
or
I was
whatever.
at, but got passed. I don't remember who won it, but he didn't win it.
He was like the overall champion
Oh,
for
was
that
he
2
for the
weeks
late models,
span,
the pro super lates or whatever?
Yeah.
So
He's always good at that stuff, that short track late model stuff.
right.
He's always has struggled when he's moved into the full size cars, like
Right.
when he got into Nationwide and stuff. Boy, he struggled, but he's really good at that short track stuff.
Yeah.
Always was, for whatever reason.
Right. Wow.
We got Levi.com on the line.
Something like that.
Is he in the to the whatever we call that?
What?
I don't know. What's the name for it? The contraption? There we go. Our
I put him in.
He's in.
He's just in.
He's in.
He's in the headset. He's ready to go. Can you hear us okay?
Levi's.com.
Nick, you got us?
Well,
Nick, are you there?
there we go.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Welcome back.
Miracles of modern science. Well, we're talking a little bit about some of the coverage from Florida. Nick Guererri joining us on the line. Tell us what you guys saw. I know you had quite the Volusia party there at your place during the pay-per-view stuff.
Yeah, we did. We had, I think there's 8 or 10 of us over watching that, so we were pretty bummed on the rain out. But other than that, it was a good week and helped us get a racing fix.
And before that, you had a little bit more of a racing fix. You had your benefit party.
Yeah, we had a racing party. We had a really good turnout. I think we could probably get close to 175 people there. So it was
Nice.
really
quite
good.
the
Had a
party.
lot of the race teams and different race team families come out and support us, and get a NASCAR race on, and Syracuse game was going. So a little bit of everything for everyone.
And where was that this year?
That was the Elks Club in Seneca Falls. We had it.
Okay. They let you pull your car inside?
They probably would have. I wasn't ready.
Are you like most people that this winter it's been a little bit more difficult to get stuff done on the race car with all the other stuff going on, like mainly snow? I mean, it seems like this winter's been more snow than we've had in a long time. And
More snowing.
every driver I talk to says with all the stuff, with all the weather, bad weather, they haven't had time.
Yeah, every year it seems like we're always at the last minute. So this year I actually got ahead of myself and just about done. We got the car signed up to go on the show at the Motorsports Expo next weekend in Syracuse. So kind of forced myself to get it done this year. So we should be ahead of schedule.
And what's the plans for the entire season? Where are you going to go, and what are you going to do?
We're going to run Canandaigua for sure. Full time. We'll be there every week. And then our plans are to hit the Grit Series. We're going to follow that. They extended that to 19 races now. They're taking your best 12 finishes. So you get 7 drops. So we're going to pick and choose which ones we want to use for drops. I'm sure we won't make all 19. So we'll take a look at that schedule and, weather. And the first race is down in Orange County. So depending on the weather, that might end up being a drop. It might not. So
I don't like your tone when you're talking about Orange County there.
it's a long way to toe when it's, the first race
You better
of the
start
season
on
is in March.
You better start on a pole. You go there.
Yeah. And I'd like to go. If it said it was going to be sunny and 70, we'd definitely go. But it's a long haul to go down there for the first race of the year, and not knowing what's going on with the weather and stuff like that. So we'll play it by ear.
What's your thoughts on a series like that, where you drop races and you have all those options like that?
I think it's pretty good. There is a lot of drops, but I understand where they're coming from as far as the series, trying to get drivers from different tracks. 19 is a lot, I think, for a sportsman series. I don't know if you might see 1 or 2, maybe 3 guys follow all 19 races.
Right.
But for the guys that can't make them all, I think it's
They still have a
great.
chance.
They can pick and choose some. I think there's 3 or 4 shows that they're must-go-to shows because they're more points. They're in the higher points scale. So, there's races you're going to have to race against everybody and see where you stack up against the best. But overall, I think it's good because you can get guys from all different regions to run it. And if you're from Woodhall, you don't have to drive all the way down to Middletown if you don't want to. You can, go down to Black Rock and run your first race there if you wanted to. So I think it's fair for everyone.
What makes that is that more appealing than, per se, the Super Dirt Car Series for the sportsman, and why is that?
I'm sorry I missed that.
Is that Grit Series more appealing to run as compared to the Super Dirt Car Series for the sportsman? And why? And what? And give a reason. I'm just wondering what your answer would be. That's all.
Definitely is. I think it's a lot better than the Sportsman Dirt Series is now. I think the Sportsman Super Dirt Series, they know that, and they're working to change a little bit. I talked to Joe Scott Nicky a little bit about it this off season, and just trying to get our feedback as drivers, what we want, why it's not so popular as it used to be. And, a lot of the reasons, a lot of the races are in Canada. I think we have 6, 7, 8 shows in Canada. There's 2 or 3 weekend shows. They're, the one is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Ransomville, Merrittville, Hubbarstone. And, it's hard for a sportsman team to do that. You have vacation time from work. You have
just
travel.
To clarify, that's the Super DIRTcar
A lot of the
series.
shows are on Canadian holidays, which aren't holidays for us. So that's, days off for work on, Mondays or Tuesdays, whatever their holiday falls. But I think just the travel alone and, where a lot of the teams are based from, like Central New York, where we are, there's no series race at Canandaigua. There's no series race at Rolling Wheels, Brewerton, Fulton. None of those guys have Sportsman Dirt Series. I think, it's in our backyard. It's in Dirt's backyard. So it's just hard to understand why there's not. But the Grit Series is, taken over for that. There's a race at Canandaigua. There's one at Guererri. We have the one, down at Woodhall. We have them. They're all over the place. So a series like that, it's trying to encompass all the tracks. And, some of the tracks are in their own backyard. They're paying well. They pay the same as the Sportsman Series for DIRTcar, if not more. It's a minimum of $1,000 to win, $100 to start, which Sportsman Dirt Series pays, every time. So you're not losing any money there. And then the contingency prizes and the points fund at the end of the year is great.
It's how much? How much to start again? Say again, how much to start?
$100 to start.
What does $100 do when you're traveling that far for a sport? even if you're leaving Geneva and going to Black Rock, what's $100 do for in the future?
Buys lunch.
Yeah, $100 usually will pay probably your fuel in the car, and then, if myself going to Black Rock from our shop in Waterloo, that's probably $100 for the gas in the truck and then the fuel for the car.
Ouch.
So, if you're looking at, last place, you're paying your pit entry fee if you don't break anything, you don't get a flat tire or something like that. So it's not bad. And if you can come out of there with a top 10, you're paying your way in, you're paying your both fuels, and make a little bit of money, put back into the car for maintenance and stuff like that. So It's not too bad.
That's good. I heard $100 and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but what's a regular sportsman payout? A lot of tracks, $300 to $500 to win, and
I was going apples to apples with the series.
Yeah, but $50 to $75 to take the green. You know what I mean?
True. But look at the like what Nick was saying. You've got your core contingent at a local track. Their miles traveled is going to be reduced than folks that are traveling with the series.
Yeah. But it still costs the same as to put the car on the racetrack ultimately, right? I would assume. And what's the deal with the tires for that? Is that going to be tough for you? I don't know what exactly the tire rule is, but I think it's open. With you guys running the Hoosier, are you going to have to purchase the American Racers, or what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah, it's open tire. So, to be competitive anywhere we go, I think you're going to have American Racer. I think the only track I've been to where it didn't look like it mattered much was Can-Am, just because the service was so hard. I'm sure Orange County's probably the same way from what I talked to some of the modified guys.
It's a safe guess.
Compounds and stuff like that. So it sounds like Can-Am and, maybe Orange County would be the only place to get away with competing on Hoosiers. But most teams, if you raced at another track, if you ventured to Brewerton or Fulton or Black Rock or Utica, you already have American Racers. So it's not a big deal, to be honest. What's hard for us holding us back is actually Canandaigua sticking with Hoosiers. Canandaigua and Rolling Wheels are the only two places that we run Hoosiers because we don't follow any of the dirt series. So, they're kind of, Brewerton and Fulton just switched over. I think July, you have to have modified Hoosiers on the car by then. But right now we're the minority. We have the tire rule the way it is because everywhere else you can run the American Racers. Such an advantage to have those compared to the Hoosiers. You're not going to be competitive against the car that's got American Racers on.
Can you run any American Racer, or have they put restrictions on what you can do in terms of quote-unquote open tire? Is it genuinely open tire?
Generally open tire. I think there might be a couple. I know the Albany Saratoga, the DIRTcar National race, I think they might specify, a couple different compounds you have to run, but for the most part,
That'll help keep costs down.
You can pretty much run whatever you want. For most of the tracks we've been to, we've ran, the same compound everywhere we went, so I don't think you're going to need too many to go to different tracks.
I remember when the late models had the open tire where you could run anything. They had a trailer
truck,
for the cars, and they had another trailer for tires.
Yeah.
100 sets of tires in the back, and you got to pick which one you want.
Now, looking at the Grit Series schedule, what track on there that you haven't been to are you looking forward to going to?
There's a lot on there that I haven't been to, and we're pretty excited about going to some of these. 5 Mile we've been to watch, never raced there. Woodhall we've been there to watch, never raced there. Orange County, same thing, been there, never raced there. Pencan, Albany, Saratoga, I've never even seen those two, so those two are on the schedule. But I'm pretty excited to go to Albany, Saratoga. Look at the competition down there. A lot of those guys, they run strong, and they, there's a lot of wins that come out of, and Fonda too. Fonda's another one I'd like to get to. Probably Fonda if I had to pick one. I've never been to and try to get there. So I'm pretty excited about hitting all these new places.
I know what joke Bombas is already thinking of as soon as you said Fonda.
Go on.
A joke? I don't have a joke.
There's got to be something.
About?
You're going to make a comment about a certain driver.
A Canandaigua driver is going.
A Canandaigua driver is going to Fonda.
He's looking forward to going to Fonda, John.
Lots of Canandaiguas
that's in
go
your
to drive.
That's in
go
your
to Fonda. There's just a couple that don't.
I know,
but now have to.
Yeah.
I'm
Reality
just hoping I won't
sets
be
in.
a field filler there.
That is awesome.
Well, let's hope not.
Yeah.
Just make sure you bring you wear your Levi's that day.
Yeah, there you go.
What is this Levi's joke that I don't get?
He sells them.
Oh, I didn't know that. I missed the
Well,
joke.
that's when he shows up for work. He's never there.
Yeah, once in a while. He's out and harasses my employees and tries to get free stuff from them once in a while.
Yeah.
So
And they wouldn't give me nothing either.
show up when I'm not there.
I stopped in to see him a few weeks ago, and he was not there.
Why, are you trying to get the extra fat kid ones or what?
Yeah, they didn't have my size.
As his wife chimes in, husky in the background.
I walked in the front door of the Levi Outlet Center at the Waterloo Outlets, and first thing I did was ask for him, and he wasn't there. So I left the store a few minutes later, and I tweeted him, or I Facebook messaged him, and I told him that I walked in the store and I was there for like 20 minutes with a fistful of money,
yeah,
and nobody waited at me. I said, "Where the hell were you?" He was at Pilots.
Oh, getting the graphics done?
Yeah.
All right, Nick, we don't want to keep it too long, bud, as we sit here and digress into talking about shopping for jeans. But if there's any sponsors, anybody you want to thank, as always, we want to give you an opportunity, website, Facebook page, all that stuff. Go ahead and give it a shout-out.
Yeah, definitely. All of our sponsors from last year returned, so I got to thank all those guys. Givo's Rears and Gears. Givo's been a huge help, and he's one of the main reasons we're going to be following the Grit Series. Because, like I said, a lot of travel, a lot of gas money. So Givo's going to help us out with that. We're going to go all over the place this year and have some fun. Yukon Gear and Axle, Trout's Auto Recycling, Pilot Graphic Design, Maston Parts Plus, Number 9 Video, Rochester Gypsum, Pampered Parents. I think that's about it. My friends and family, everybody that pitches in to help, and everybody that supports us.
All right, I got one last question.
Uh-oh.
I listened to Shane Andrews say your name on Saturday nights. He says Guererri. Is it Guererri or Guererri?
Guererri.
Guererri. That is the proper pronunciation. Okay. I like it. I thought it was, but I wasn't
No,
sure.
I'm all frigged up.
Now you're screwed up. Bombas is all done now. Guererri. Awesome.
Shane's going to have his hands full this year because we have another one bumping up into Sportsman.
There's like
10 of them.
I know I announced there the one night, and I couldn't keep you guys straight. I was all over the place. I just kept saying Guererri. That's all I kept saying because I figured if I'm saying it, I got to be right because there's 10 of them on the track.
When will you guys just have your own class, your own race?
So we can probably run our own heat race now. Hopefully there's no family feuds because it'll get a little interesting at the racetrack.
Yeah, a little tight in the pits, huh? Well, man, we'll let you go. Thanks again for coming on. We appreciate it, and best of luck to you here in 2014.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
See you, Nick.
So, Nick Guererri. There we go. We got the proper pronunciation.
It's going to take me months to figure that one out.
It's going to take you years.
I'm just going to stick to the normal.
You going to stick to the normal?
You're going to have to. First huge step, you're going to have to try.
Yeah, where's Post? He said he was getting off the thruway. Oh, he was just getting to the through exit.
Just getting to the throughway
Why
exit.
is he coming here?
No, because he's probably on his way
Show's
home.
half over.
You here yet? I just
He's
sent him
almost
a- sent him a
he's almost
Facebook
back to his
message.
house.
Yeah, he's actually watching the show from home right now.
Make sure you blow out those birthday candles. It
Yeah.
actually is a birthday.
So who's next on the agenda? Justin Haers?
Yes.
Oh man,
Moving right
you
along.
almost did it, didn't you?
You promised.
did almost
I
do
didn't
it.
do it. I had to think
You
about it. I had to
almost
think
did.
about it.
You stopped
because you
yourself.
don't shut up with it. He's got a nickname for everybody.
Yeah, I know.
That's the annoying part. Everybody. Hey, why don't you do the sponsor
I
read
don't
while
have a
we're
nickname
sitting here?
for
You got a
you.
sponsor read
How
tonight?
about we do that? Yeah,
Why
we
don't you
probably
do that?
should
Do that now.
Last week, if you missed it, I talked about it before. I had to put a new hub in the left front side of my Avenger over at D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Dropped it off, had a quote in 5 minutes, and had the car back in less than 24 hours. And I was lucky enough to get a 2014 Dart to borrow in the event we needed to do anything at home. Awesome. The price matched the quote to the penny. Those guys are the best. Get over there and say hi. Say hi to Patrick out in the shop, Michael, Mike Godkin, Steve Riffle in the showroom. Those guys are the best. Full service parts department repairs and guaranteed best deal in getting you into new Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, or Jeep. Bringing in a price quote from any other dealer. Those boys are going to match it guaranteed. Online is D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep.com or call the shop at 855-261-3035. The store opens daily. The store opens daily at 8:30 Monday to Saturday.
Yeah, Mitch Post my home.
That's
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
Good.
that's quite the journey you got there in the parking lot.
That's my wife's car.
I understand.
Yes,
She let him drive it tonight.
Yeah, actually, the
He
reason
wanted
was
to show it
snowing
off.
out.
you know why she might let me drive it? It's her birthday and she needed gas.
It's her birthday.
Yep.
Hey, that's a hell of a present.
I don't know. Here's the
Happy
tank.
birthday, honey. I filled your guest.
Here's the tank of gas. Here you go.
Well, happy birthday to the missus.
Yes.
Yes, happy birthday. I haven't seen her in a while. It's been too long.
You want to come over to the house?
No, because she'll kick me out. Usually I last about 15 minutes before she's like, why is he here?
Yeah.
Actually, that's exactly how she says it too. She
Yeah.
doesn't curse. She doesn't get
No,
mad. She
why
just,
is he here?
She just politely leans over and she
When was
says,
the last time we went over there, Bombs? What time we leave? 4 in the morning?
"Yeah." That was after. That was
No,
after
we-
a
the last time I
lot.
was there, we played video games.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
played
that was
racing.
4 in the
it
morning.
wasn't that late when we left.
Yeah,
for
it
that,
was.
right?
It was. Yes,
Ah,
it was.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
It was.
remember.
It was late.
awful.
We
late.
I
ordered
don't
pizza.
remember.
We drank an 18-pack of beer. It was
At
It
least.
was late.
Yeah,
It was late.
there was a lot of World
Yeah.
Outlaw
I
sprint
remember
cars.
we were playing video games.
Yeah, we're
that
playing
night.
World of Outlaw sprint cars.
And then we had to put in the one where you can run the 4-cylinder.
The midgets.
Midgets.
Midgets, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And-
great. Wee. Sounds like a...
And it's got Sylvester Stallone as the voice.
I don't think that's Sylvester Stallone. I still don't believe
It's his
that's
brother.
okay.
It's his brother.
Okay.
Sly? I don't know.
Frank,
Was it
I believe.
Frank, yes.
Frank Stallone, right? Yeah, I can remember.
He had a good singing career, right?
Who knows?
Well,
like-
it wasn't good.
Are we really talking about Sylvester Stallone right now? Like, that's the best we can come up with on a racing show.
Rocky.
It's not a racing movie. We can talk. What's the
He
movie?
did a racing movie,
Yeah,
Driven.
yes, he did.
Driven, right? I got that
Yeah.
video game, and it's terrible.
I've never seen that movie, but I heard it sucked.
Oh, it was bad. It was awful.
You know it's hardcore when he starts to hum.
Yeah. It was atrocious. Atrocious.
Oh man.
It's for real now.
What's for
Nice.
real? The phone's ringing.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Hey. So he'll be joining us here on the line pretty soon. We'll let Chris put him in, but Justin Haers, the winner on.
Shall we
Wednesday
throw
night.
out there that Lincoln has been canceled already this weekend?
Yeah, I was going to talk about all that here in a minute. So
Is he there?
locked him in.
Yeah, he's
So,
locked in.
joining us here again on the 31st lap now is none other than feature winner at Volusia, Justin Haers. And Justin, congratulations on the win. And how'd it feel to knock one out in Florida?
It was great, man. Like I said, to get a win in front of just a huge crowd and a lot of my friends and family down there, it was definitely a big weight lifted off my shoulders. So hopefully more to come.
You ran well. Basically all three nights. Just obviously the tough luck there on the final night.
Yeah, we were like I said, we were good all week, and probably should have been a little bit more patient there in the last night. And like I said, I'll take full blame for my responsibility. I got in the back of a guy with my left front and just turned me around that quick, and it was a little disappointing to have that nice of a points cushion going into the last night and did not come out with a championship. But what are you gonna do? We're happy to get a win down there, and that was definitely our highlight of the week.
How important was it? I chatted with you a little bit about this, but How important is it to come out of the box strong like that, to run as well as you did each and every night? I mean, I think you were either the fastest or second fastest car in your group every time in hot laps, and you kind of kept that rolling throughout the night.
Yeah, it's it has a lot to do with our program and the chassis. Like I said, ever since I unloaded that car down there, it was lights out. The thing was just on a rail. And, it goes to show, Big Now Racing Products, built me a great car. And, we had a car like this a few years ago where as soon as we unloaded, it was just fast. And I hope, like I said, we can keep it up because looking forward to this season.
The track there, it seemed to get slick. Both nights you guys ran after the late models, it was slick for you guys. Were you able to draw on your, the home track, the Canandaigua experience to kind of get hooked up to there, or did you have to go to a different notebook considering Volusia? I mean, it's a little different. It's a fast, they call it the world's fastest half mile. It's a fast little joint.
It's definitely fast. Even when it got slick, it was still a lot faster than the speeds that we carry at Canandaigua for corner entry anyway. So, took a little bit of stuff there, but, out of the Canandaigua notebook, but, it was tough. We're so good, early in the night and all night long. It's hard to change a bunch of stuff in your car to go for those conditions. But, like I said, we were, I think the last night if we didn't get wrecked up there, we would have been definitely a top 5 car. Car felt good the first lap, and it just, like I said, one of those deals. But, we definitely learned some stuff down there. The previous year that we kind of had in the notebook for this season. We went down there.
A lot of people talk about the money to go to Florida and how expensive it is. Obviously, it's not nowhere you race is cheap, but you go down there and you spend a lot of money to get there. You don't race for. You race for an okay purse, but it's not the best purse going. But is it about the purses when you go down there, or is it about the track time, or what makes guys go down there? We debate this all the time as media guys. Like, why do guys go to Florida? What makes you want to go to Florida?
Just, I haven't raced down there. Last year I ran, and then the previous time before that was like 8 years before that. It's get away from up here. It's kind of an appreciation that I show to my guys that help me out, my crew, almost like a vacation for them. We're there to race, but, we have a lot of fun too. So, it is expensive to go, and if we can go out and, try to break even, we're happy with that. It all goes to, your sponsors and everybody that helps out. I got sponsors that go down there, that are down there for the race anyway, that love to see, the car down there to run. So, that all helps out, and, like I said, it's not cheap anywhere you go racing, but when you travel, 1,200 miles away, it's definitely a lot more expensive.
A lot more fun, though, too, when it's 75 degrees out and not 12.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's not, the track isn't really that hard on tires or anything like that. You know what I mean? You're not using tires every night. So it's not like it's, like you said, it's fast. It's not easy on equipment, but it's not hard on tires, stuff like that cost a lot of money every night to put on.
You mentioned your crew guys and how much they wanted to go down and what it meant to them to go down. What did it mean to them, and what did it mean to the team, the morale and all of that, for you to step out that first night and get the win?
It was huge. You know what I mean? To come out the very first night and win was definitely just, just shows great preparation. That my guys to, put the car together and have everything, top notch. And, definitely made the rest of the week a fun week, that's for sure.
Yeah, it kind of takes the pressure off a little bit, or do you still put pressure on yourself after you get that?
There's still a lot of pressure on it because you want to go out the next night and run well. And we did the next night. We ran second for a while in the race. And faded back to fourth right there at the end. I think we would have been a little bit better with a harder tire on. The second night I think we would have been, I don't think we would have caught Friesen because he was kind of in his own zip code that night, but I think we definitely would have been second. So, we went there every night, and when we unloaded, I think that most of the people thought we were the car to beat. and that's kind of a good feeling to have.
Well, now that we're back in New York, what do you do now, and where do we go from here? I mean, we wait now until Canandaigua opens, or you plan on doing a little bit of traveling just to kind of stay in the rhythm and keep things rolling?
We'll probably just wait for Canandaigua to start up. Trying to get a decent day to wash a car, actually.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's coming in April.
Yeah.
We hope.
Yeah.
We're just kind of getting everything prepared now for Canandaigua opener. Got to get our bearings back together as far as, getting everything organized again. And, looking forward to it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to anything other than snow at this point. I mean, that seems to be how this winter's going, but
I got to believe that the best feeling out of all this coming out of Florida, having picked up a win, is you were able to put John in his place with all this comments about being a field filler at Canandaigua, and you were able to go out there and really show him how Canandaigua drivers can do it. If you want to take a few minutes and kind of brag that up,
you
by all means.
can bang Thomas all you want.
It isn't going to shut me up.
I don't know about field fillers, because I think it's probably the toughest place in the Northeast to race at.
You listening, John? Keep going, Justin. You go ahead.
I think,
go right ahead.
but Justin, I think more Bombas is just trying to get on Kimmy, and we won't get into that too much. But
You're trying to lend a little sunshine on the subject?
yeah, I was just saying, you like to bust Kimmy's chops, and this is what you're doing. That's what you do. So, but yeah, we know Canandaigua stuff. I mean, you guys had some, obviously good cars there this year. Matt Shepard, Jimmy Phelps, Peter Britton, just to name a few of the guys there. And week in and week out, you guys got one of the better modified fields going.
We sure got Danny Johnson, Alan Johnson, Steve Payne. I mean, come on, there's like 10 of them there.
Yeah. Are you plan on hitting the whole series this year too?
We're going to start out running it and see where we fall into place. Last year we missed a couple shows just because of just work stuff. You know what I mean? It just gets so busy during the summer. Mm-hmm. But if we're in contention to run up front, we'll definitely do it.
Well, so far so good, I would have to say.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just looking forward to this weather breaking up here, and getting back in this the racing mode again, because that's almost like a little teaser down there. We have the one night rain out, and that was just like a little teaser, and you come back home and you're just itching to get going again. So we'll be here before we know it, I'm sure. But definitely gonna warm up, that's for sure.
It was quite the shock for me when I walked off the plane, and I left and it was 80. I walked off the plane, it was 17. Yeah. So I got to imagine.
Yeah, Crimea River.
We all get that wake up call when you get back home, and how much reality sucks.
We feel real bad for you.
But
yeah, it was definitely a wake up call. Like I said, I flew in Monday, and it was beautiful when we left, and it was freezing when I got off the plane. But it's pretty much like that every year, and like I said, it's just a good time just to get away and just have some time down there to race and just enjoy yourself. It was a great time.
Oh man, I'll give you a chance like we always want to do. Don't want to keep you too long here, but as always, if you got a website, you got a Facebook, Twitter, you want to give a shout out to some sponsors, crew guys, whoever you know to give them a shout out, go ahead and take a chance to do that.
Yeah, no Facebook page. I do have a Twitter page, Justin Haers 3. But definitely, I think my sponsors: Phelps Cement Products, SMV Motorsports, Swingers Plus, Classics and Customs, RL Breen Painting, Jeff Jelly Masonry, Bicknell Racing Products, Integra Shocks, FK Rod Ends, Finger Lakes Machine does my engines, does a great job. And, got to thank my mom, my dad, my wife, my daughter, and my crew guys, Josh McMillan on board this year. Got Joe Cook helped me out down in Florida, Todd Kirkwood helped me out down there, Jim Davies. Got to give an extra shout out to him. He drove straight back home.
Wow.
Animals behind the wheel of that truck and trailer. And like I said, I'm looking at my crew this year. Those guys are dedicated 100% and really fun to work with. We have a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. You have fun, win some races, and that's what it's all about.
Well, man, again, congratulations on the win in Florida, and we look forward to talking to you here down the road and seeing you at Canandaigua.
Yeah, hopefully you're talking to me after the opener. Hopefully we can knock one of these wins off early in the season.
Hey, man, I'm there for it.
Fine.
That's awesome.
That's the deal.
Have a good one, brother.
All right, buddy. Take care. Thank you
too.
guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
I love that he called you out.
No, he didn't. You did.
Oh, I called you out.
He only said something because you brought it up.
I didn't bring it up.
I'm pretty
You
sure.
did too.
I'm pretty sure I brought it up.
He brought it up.
One of you did.
He brought it up, and I kept it going.
It's all good.
I will
It's all
definitely-
good.
I know. You know what, though? He ran a hell of a
I'll
race the night
definitely
he
take
won.
credit for
I mean,
that.
it was... He looked good. I mean, there was a few guys that looked really good.
We got to zing you twice. I was liking it.
Yeah. There was a few guys that looked really good the whole week. I mean, Billy Pouch ran well. He ran pretty much top 5, top 6. I mean, Justin
Prego
looked good.
ran good.
Anthony Prego looked exceptional.
He was real fast. When
The first time in a big block.
The practice night.
First time in a big
He was fastest
block.
on the charts for a while.
He was fastest overall. I think.
I
Or no,
thought
Matt Shepard got it at the end.
What
Yeah,
did he win with the
3 out of
Dabbler? Was that a small block in
small
that car
block.
that
Yeah.
day?
This was his first time ever in a big block.
So every time he ran that car at Accord, it was a small block.
Yes. Yes. Yep. So then he got what? He got a second, and then he had a couple other top 5,
he
top
was
5,
solid.
top 10. He was consistent. He had a good car.
He was right up front every night.
Yeah, he had a good car. So I mean,
Stewie obviously was good all
Stewie
week.
was good. Well, Monday night he was a little off, or Wednesday night he was a little off, and then they kind of dialed things back. He said they dialed things back in, then and kind of got going from there. So obviously he won
Matt
the
Shepard.
finale.
Matt Shepard.
How about
was
Shepard?
Fantastic.
Or winning, or he won the Thursday night race?
Yeah, the middle
And
race.
Shepard won the finale.
Yeah.
He was
Or
impressive.
last one,
It was a
whatever
great.
it was.
I'll tell you, that
Yeah.
was a great race between Jimmy Phelps and Matt Shepard, and for me, I like the HBR cars, the look of them. So it's cool to see them racing and all the photos of the cars side by side.
Yeah.
And if you get,
Because there's only about a bajillion of those now, right?
yeah, I know everybody's got them. I mean, they're on the cover of Ariato. They're on the
Did you
cover of
talk
Dirt
to
Track
Jimmy
Digest.
afterwards?
Yeah, I talked to Jimmy.
How did he? How was he after that? Because
Were you about to ask how did he take it?
yeah, that's
well,
basically.
I mean,
what-
it's
well, you're looking at, and again, nothing
From
this
the
has
outs-
nothing
right,
to do
right,
with Jimmy
right,
Phelps.
right,
Anybody
right.
that's in that situation who's always driven as their own car, their own team. You know what I mean? They're the only driver in the organization, whatever. And all of a sudden, you have a teammate, and you've never really been in a situation where you've had a teammate before, and then right out of the box, you see your teammate win before.
But I
you
think,
do.
I mean,
It's
you look.
gotta,
You look
it's
at.
got to bite a little bit.
I don't know if it did or didn't. I think it was. They park next to each other. They're working together as a
Well, of
team,
course.
and they're trying things
They're in the
together.
same
And
shop.
I mean, yeah, and you're working together as a team, so it helps, and sometimes it hurts because I mean, some of the ideas that you're going to try might not work. Like Jimmy said, they struggled the first couple of nights with the car being, I believe, it was too tight. Like he just could not get into the corner the way he needed to, and because of that, they were off.
Right.
But then on, he said it Saturday night that he had a car he thought was good enough to win. It just, Matt was a little bit better. And he thought he was getting back to Matt, and then Stewie obviously was.
Yeah, he just was.
I mean, Stewie went in, changed the tire, had something wrong with the shock, fixed it, and just drove around the top. It was like watching Stewie race at Utica Rome.
Yeah.
Because he just went to the top where nobody else goes, and he just drove around and passed car after car after car after car. It was impressive. Yeah, I mean, it was an impressive run. I mean, that's what you expect out of Friesen in Florida. I mean, you really do. He's good there. Every time he's gone down there, he's been good. And he got his. I mean. For him, it was the first big gator. I think he's won the title before, he said, but never the gator, the big gator, which is the coolest part about the whole trip, winning the big gator.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And I was joking before the show. Now, did he break it and leave it on anybody's hood down there?
no. There actually, it's funny though. There was a broken gator in the tower. They had to order another one. Lost a leg. It was the 3-legged gator.
Well, they should have had extra gators. Oh, you're talking about the big one now.
Yeah.
They
the
should
big
have
ones,
extra.
not
They
the
should
little
have
ones.
extra little ones because they rained out tonight.
No, they have like the big ones. Those are cool.
Right,
Those
yeah,
are
the
those are a
champion
neat.
gates.
Those are definitely a neat trophy.
Yeah, they're size of a real gator.
Yeah.
You know, the mini farmable gators, whatever you call them.
They call those handbag gators.
Like Chris, or what you call it there, the Chris Wall, the late model racer.
That guy was cool.
He's a gator farmer.
Yeah, we were actually
And they have
talking
those
about him
little,
in Florida. I don't know why. Yeah, he had a gator.
those little gators.
Yeah. You speak of the late models. Did you see the big news with the late model deal about Jimmy Owens and the Bloomquist chassis?
He
No.
tested a Daryl Lanigan car
The
one
Club
night
29 car one night. That was like the huge
on the UMP night at Volusia. It
Yeah.
wasn't in a Lucas race.
Yeah, that was a huge.
Oh, I'm sure
to do in the
Bloomquist
pit area.
was
Oh,
not
huge.
thrilled about that at all.
I
How did
mean, I
he
think
take
the
it?
gossip going around is that there's a change coming, but that's
Well, I mean, there's been some rumblings about that, but also, Bloomquist was Bloomquist was running.
He's running. He's
running a new
redesigning his
development
stuff
chassis
too. Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So I mean, are you surprised that there's?
I don't know. I mean,
it's
it's
always changed. No matter, now you shouldn't see those guys.
Look, you need to
all
keep,
racing. They
as
constantly
competitive
change.
as competitive as the sprint car series is, so too is the late models, and you need to constantly find
It's
ways
always
to
changed.
redefine what you're doing
Yeah.
and stay ahead of the curve.
Look at McCready. He's back
Why
on
would
a rocket.
Yeah.
Well, why would prime example? Why would Tim McCready go back to Rocket? Because he thinks that there's an advantage there.
Yeah.
That's no different than
And he wasn't
than
doing
Jimmy.
any better.
Why would
with the other chassis.
Why would Scott Bloomquist develop a new chassis when his previous chassis was so successful? Because he wants to keep a leg up.
Yeah,
That's no different.
right.
So
Yeah,
if Jimmy Owens is going out and testing the 29 car, look, I'm excited about it, but I don't
show.
know if it's anything that we.
The
need
only
to,
reason they were
there's
making
no reason
a
to
big deal
blow
about
it
it is because
There's
it
no
was
reason
Jimmy
to blow.
Owens and he's won the championship.
Excuse me,
Right, he won the
talking
Lucas
4 years.
Championship, right? With the
Last
the
3 years
Bloomquist.
with
Yeah,
Bloomquist
yeah.
cars.
You know what was interesting? You know why, Chris? This is all for you, buddy. I'm bringing up late models. You should be
I'm
impressed.
listening.
You should be impressed.
I
You look at the winners.
I don't
in
see you
Florida.
bringing up late models much, but boy, the
No.
win list was odd, wasn't
That's
it?
because he had to watch him.
I had to watch him because I was doing live updates, but
He was going to try to catch a nap.
other than Bloomquist winning, you look at all the winners of the different nights of the late models. Ivan Lloyd,
Yes, I
Evolution.
would have loved that part of it because it would have been all
Ivan
different
Lloyd,
people.
Kyle Bronson,
Bronson.
won the last night.
Yeah,
The 20,000 or 10,000.
and that kid ran the UMP modified.
Yeah, we're in the UMP mods too.
Just
What was
bolted
the
a
other?
hood on it.
Kenny Pettyjohn. How about Pettyjohn?
Yeah,
Pettyjohn drove the
he
race
had-
of his life.
That one I was glad to see because he's more of a guy
and
from our region.
You know what else is cool about that? He had the Wounded Warrior project on the car.
He donated
all
all
the
the winnings,
money
right?
he won.
That's right.
Went to Wounded Warrior.
Yeah, and this is a guy this is probably the biggest win of his life.
Yeah, he said it. Biggest win of my career by far.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
I mean, look at the win list. I mean, a lot of those guys, it's some of the biggest wins that they're going to get.
yeah, and then the other race was amazing. Was Casey Roberts passing Scott Bloomquist back
Right.
to win?
Yeah, they swapped back and forth.
Yeah, it was a great race. He actually ran him down and passed him. You know how often you see Scott Bloomquist
Well, no,
get
yeah.
pad?
Once Bloomquist takes the lead,
Usually that's
99
it.
times out of 100,
Usually
it's over.
Hit
Usually-
the pillow,
When he-
set the alarm for lap 50, and
Yeah.
go to sleep because
Yeah.
it's over.
When he gets a lead, usually he's fine, but there's always these times when he's running development stuff.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
there's some more stuff to research and develop.
Yeah, oh yeah, maybe that's what they're doing. But you know what always surprises me?
I can't believe I got it. When you know what surprises me, I got a phrase out with John interrupted me tonight. That was impressive
that's
in my
impressive.
book. That was cool.
But
The what?
the lack. I don't know if it's what's going on. I remember the day when you went to Volusia, there was 80-something late models. I don't know if it's just too much now. The late model car counts
they were not there.
They weren't. None of the races, right?
No.
No. Lucas.
Nope.
None of them had cars.
No.
Where is everybody?
That's
I mean, you go through the list
that was
of
a very
guys
good
that
question.
You go through the list of guys that aren't there, like Brian Burkhofer. Where's he? You know, like Jimmy Mars.
Mhm.
Where's he? Like all these guys that you would expect. I mean, you're in Florida. It's 10 days
Yeah,
in a
they
row.
usually have like 8, 9, 10 heats, especially
Yeah.
in East Bay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same
Not
thing.
even so much as at Volusia, but at East Bay is where they usually get a lot of them,
Yeah, and there's nothing.
and they weren't there.
No,
40,
it's
50
just-
cars every night.
yeah,
Wasn't
I mean
much.
we're not saying that's. I'm not saying that's bad.
That's bad, right? It's unusual.
You just expect more
it wasn't
because
the norm.
Yeah,
there's
it's
usually so
atypical.
many. Like Bub McCool, he wasn't there. I just like saying his name, so that's why I was hoping he was there.
Who's got a cooler name, Bud McCool or Jeep Van Warmer?
Jeep Van Moore. I like Booper Bear. Booper Bear's
Bear,
pretty good.
yeah.
Boom Briggs is good.
Yep,
Boom Briggs is good.
Yep.
There is some cool late model names out
Booper
there.
Bear's been around a while.
Booper
too.
Bear. I saw him win at Delaware once back in the
Yeah.
day. Way back in the day.
Was that the double
He's
zero?
been
car?
racing a long
I think
time.
it was 00. Yeah. Booper Bear. You know, while we're talking about that neck of the woods,
What else?
Hagerstown, all that, Lincoln Speedway did cancel already for this weekend.
Yeah,
John
John mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And New
I
Egypt,
figured
of
as
course,
much. New Egypt postponed. They're a week
postponed.
back to the
They're
8th
all
now.
pushed back to
I
the
just
8th.
don't know how anybody's going to get anything in, man. I'm not saying
Well,
this
it's
to be
got to
negative,
start to warm up,
but it's got to get
eventually.
warm.
On the
What-
plus side, you got a lot of calendar squares you can keep pushing back to.
This sucks, man. I gotta, I wanted to top last year's 126. There's no way I'm going to get it.
That's not true.
Last year, there's no way.
You'll find all these fall shows, these obscure fall shows.
That's
You're-
tough to
you're
do
gonna- you'll-
because
you'll be
this
fine.
year, this past year,
Look, if you're worried
every
about it-
weekend from the time I go home from Florida to the time I was done, I was at a racetrack. I
You'll
didn't miss a
find
weekend.
stuff.
This
I
year,
mean-
it's like, what the
You
hell,
know what else
man?
I want to talk about before we get
No,
too
but you're
far
gonna tell
off
us.
of the Volusia subject?
What?
We got about 20
Is-
minutes left.
The
Yeah, we're
sprint,
good.
The sprint car races, not even just Volusia, all of Speed Weeks with the sprint car stuff, the 410 stuff.
was great.
I saw more, and I don't know why, I saw more engine problems between Ocala and Volusia for these guys that are coming right out of the box. Everything's brand new, fresh
Right.
equipment. And I've never seen so many engine problems, guys with engine issues over a week and a half, 10-day, whatever, 12-day period ever before. It was insane. There were a ton of engine issues between the Ocala deal and
Yeah.
the Volusia races.
I think it's just
What was going on? You
I'm
were obviously
wondering-
there.
Track was too grippy.
Sam Hafertepe.
no. Havertip
Sam
was out of
Hafertepe, I think,
bullets on
blew up-
Saturday.
He blew up like 3 410s.
Yeah, the Lucas. What
Three of
is
them?
it? Logan
Yeah.
Schuhart. Remember that?
He didn't complete a heat race until he got to East Bay
Yeah.
last weekend.
Yeah,
That
right.
was,
I think by
that
the
was the end
time-
of week 2.
So
I'm
what
pretty
was he
much-
putting in the car?
I think
did
what
he
it
blow
is is-
through- did he grenade him or
the
did they
East Bay
fix him?
deal was 360s. That's
problem
the
is-
first
It's a
night.
different engine.
That was the
Once
first
you-
night he completed a heat race.
I didn't realize he had that bad of luck.
Once
Oh.
you twist an engine and you even think you heard it, you don't run it because if you blow it, you're looking at 50 grand, 60 grand.
There were 4 or 5 guys a night
Changing
with
motors.
engine issues.
Logan Schuhart changed like 4 motors while they're down there.
Him and Jacob Allen,
They-
between Ocala and Volusia, everyone
They changed the motor every night.
They were smoking in hot laps
But
every single night.
I got
Yeah.
a question. I mean, is it just a gasket issue where they're
I
just
don't-
smoking, or
but you don't know.
I don't know. I mean, this is the time where your stuff is brand new,
Yeah.
fresh, right
I
out
mean,
of the box, and you're
Yeah, I mean, Dino
Just
brings up a good point. I mean, he's talking about
engine issues
Volusia is
are
always
crazy.
engines, but Volusia, they are flying.
Oh, I
they're
know,
so
and I
fast,
get
they're
that,
turning.
but I've
It's
never
a
seen
harder
so
track.
many.
Yeah, but again,
It was insane.
Think about it. The line between having a max horsepower
Well, I
and blowing
know.
up is
They're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
I
they
know.
have to. If you want to be fast, you have to.
It's,
I mean, that's
but it was-
it's a very small window
it was
between
crazy.
power band and
blow
scrap
up.
metal.
Yeah,
Schaefer
I mean,
had problems. Dale
they
Blaney had problems.
the modifieds had problems. J.R. Hefner blew up like the first night and
Yeah, he
said,
packed up and went home.
"Going home." I can't imagine driving that far with one, as GT Smith would say, one bullet.
Yeah,
All the way down there with one bullet.
Mario,
but, you know,
Mario
his
Claire
history there
turned one
has been
apart,
pretty well.
Yeah,
but he
There
was
were
back. He had a spare motor.
There were a lot of issues during that 2 weeks.
yeah. There's a lot of
engine
There's
issues.
so many moving parts, and I mean that could be gearing
Anything.
issues. That could be
Yeah, anything.
That could
Yeah,
be
you
the
don't
track
know.
was
I
too
mean,
fast.
with that.
It could be that the track was too slick.
Cody
and you
Dare
turned-
had to change an engine on one
Cody
of those nights
Dare.
too.
Well, Cody Dare was in the dash on Saturday night.
was leading his heat
Sunday
race.
night. Yeah, no, it was a dash. He was leading the
It was
dash. and
dash,
popped
that's
it.
right, 'cause he still
yeah,
got the
and
start.
popped it. Yeah, because
Yes.
I was actually I'm putting together a column. That I'll have up hopefully tomorrow.
He's putting together a column now as we bore him with conversation.
No,
about late models.
I'm just writing
Hey, we're
about.
talking about sprint cars.
I'm actually talking about some of the things that, like highlighting the stuff that we did, like some of the things.
Well, you
that
said
we
it was
learned.
what we learned, right?
Yeah, it'll
Dan
be,
Patrick show.
it'll be about what we learned here from Florida. You know what's
Dan Patrick show style.
no. I'm just like
It
you
was
know.
just to me. It was more.
I like the what we learned.
There were more than normal.
yeah,
Way
yeah,
more
yeah.
engine issues than normal.
Yeah, and
I know that place is tough on motors,
but I've
'cause
seen. It
It's
seems as
it's
of late,
hammer
I've
down
seen
on the
far
outside.
more.
Everybody gets wound up there. It's all
Yeah.
momentum evolution. But
Like, let John finish.
there was more than normal.
I think that's sprint car racing in general though lately. I mean, who else ran out of motors? Havertip.
you don't even
obviously.
see that at Grove.
Yeah, you do though. You do.
Not like that.
The guys change motors all the time. It just
Look, the margin of competition is getting the level.
if
of
you want to
competition
beat
is going
Shots
so high,
and Pittman,
you have
you
to.
got to step it up. That's where we're at. If you want to beat those guys, you got to be that much quicker.
If you're running
Well,
on the
and
edge.
where
I'll
else?
tell you what.
What else? Where else are you going to gain
can
it?
figure out consistency, I think he'll have something to say about
Who?
that.
Kading?
Kading.
I don't think he's going to be. I don't think
If
he
he can
has a
figure
shot
out
at the
consistency,
championship.
that's his problem.
Look, if you're running on the edge, I mean, think about this: if you're running on the edge already and you hit a bump in the track, that could be enough to turn a drive line.
Yeah, I mean, it's just little things.
Because now you go from no resistance to max RPM, just to red line it, then you come right back onto the track and you hook up again, you twist something.
Yeah.
It's possible. Is it likely?
Well, you mentioned. I mean, let's look at the title contenders coming out of Florida. I mean, you obviously have to put Shots into that category.
Well, of course. The
Shots.
norm. There's always the norm.
Pittman.
Shots, Pittman,
Paul McMahon.
McMahon. Yeah.
McMahon's tied for the point lead with Pittman.
I think if Brad Sweet could figure out consistency, which I think because
I
it's his
won't-
first year full time on the tour, he's going to have a tough time with consistency.
I don't.
But
Yeah,
he's
I'm
going
not
to win himself
I'm not
some
going to
races.
throw Brad Sweet in there simply because he doesn't have the experience in
Yes,
all the tracks.
there's a lot of tracks he's going to see.
Right,
for
and
the
I'm not
first
going to
time.
throw Tim Kading in that group either. I'm not. I think Kading has the talent.
Kading, I think his issue is going to be consistency.
Right. Well, he's not going to be good because
He's-
again, he's not going to be good because
he's
he hasn't
always
been to some
super
of these
fast.
places, and that's. I mean, he's a
gonna
lot
win
better on the smaller tracks than he is the bigger
Yes,
tracks.
he's going to win a shitload of races, but he will end up on his lid enough that it's going to kill him in the
I
I'm
wanna
going to go
get-
Jack Howden shield on this.
I want to mount a bell right here, and every time
That-
somebody curses,
Bing. We've been doing a little bit more and more every
Yeah,
week. I think I even swore last week.
We didn't have a show last week, did
2
we?
weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. Holy crap!
Last week we had Craig Gravel. The week before that we had Dave
Dino,
Axton,
right?
and
Dino
Dean,
did
and,
something with it. What Dino do like it from
Did you
his
have a show
phone?
last week?
Yeah, last week we had
Gravel.
Craig Gravel.
That's right. I wasn't here.
And
Yeah, you were watching
I
Volusia.
was watching
the
East Bay.
week before that we had Dave Axton and
Mike Stelter. It
Yeah, Mike Stelter.
was an all ESS show.
Yeah, Dino had some
yeah,
stuff
that's
in the works,
show
and we
that
were.
we thought we weren't having. That's
And
right.
well, I
Right.
mean, if things had come around, it would have been a completely different story.
What
but
was that?
no.
What were we trying to do that night? Or weather? What do we have? Weather that night? Yeah, that
we
was
weren't
the Thursday
supposed to
before.
have a show.
Right, that was the night
At
I
the
was
last
leaving.
minute we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had an opportunity to get,
Right, get the interviews and you do it. You take what you can get.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
and then those interviews fell apart, and Dean rounded up some other guys. And it was a really cool conversation to talk with Stelter and Axton. I mean, last time I saw, those guys had some really good stories.
Yeah,
some really good stories. It was cool to talk to those guys.
I tell you, that's what I've been, that's what I like to get now, like the other
storytellers.
Yeah. Well, Pouch was great, a few weeks ago.
Oh my God.
I chatted with
so
him
many people were talking about that show.
I've chatted with him in Florida, and again, we had Mandy Pouch. If you haven't read it, all of her blogs are on DTD for another couple days on the right in the feature column.
What's the actual web address?
It's DIRTtrackdigest.com.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Right
on my forehead. There you go. There you go, Chris. There you go.
You have a sticker on your computer too? Yep, there's the one. That's what.
Yep, and
you
I got a coat over there
on your ass, dude.
That's my coat.
You want to see it, John?
No.
Wow.
Put that away.
Did you get that in Florida? Was that
the coat?
Was that your spring? No, the
tattoo.
Yeah. I lost some bet. We had a mini golf bet.
He got it on a one-way street.
Yeah. You're an ass.
That's where it is.
Yeah. Shut up.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm not even gonna. You know what? I'm not even gonna digress other than to say shut up. That's it. That's all I'm gonna give you.
Argo.
But Argo. But yeah. But no, it was. I mean, I thought this year the racing in Florida was some of the best I've seen.
Everybody's been talking about it.
Gary Rich did a hell of a job on the track surface. I mean, the track was amazing. There was only a couple nasty wrecks, really. I mean, there's only one flip in the sprint cars. I don't even remember who it was. And then the guy
wasn't Jack, was it?
No. Neoff flip. Did you see the UMP modified flip? Guy jumped the cushion in turn 4. Oh.
I think I did see that.
Nasty.
I think I did.
And then there was the other wreck with Kenny Wallace and Austin Dillon right on the front stretch in the UMP feature the last night.
It's the only wreck that Austin was involved in. He didn't start. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Oh, jeez. No, that wasn't his fault. That was what Hoffman.
I think it was Nick Hoffman. Didn't start.
Nick Hoffman lost the left rear, then hit him, and then there it was. You know what's cool about that, though? Kenny Wallace tweeted a Dirt Track Digest photo out.
That's
neat.
cool.
And I mean, the other cool thing about the week for me, I got to interview Austin Dillon. That was kind of cool. After he put the car on the pole. Nice. As a dirt racing writer, when am I ever going to get to interview the Daytona 500 pole sitter the day he puts it on the pole? I'm not an Austin Dillon fan, but I was still. It's pretty cool to talk to him.
All right.
And he was actually a normal guy. He puts his pants on just like us. Except he's got a lot more money in his pockets.
Wow.
Right or wrong?
I'm not going to
you're 100% right.
I'm not going to argue that point at all.
So I think I got $6, and that might be giving myself a $2 bump up.
Yeah, $2 inflation.
Yeah,
self-imposed.
Yep. So
good, cool.
Good show this week.
Huh?
Good show this week.
Yeah. What else we got? I mean,
I don't know. I'm just watching the clock, figuring.
Bronson
You're
Mason.
always watching the clock.
I am.
Relax.
That's all you do.
My life is spent as a slave to the clock.
I got to tell you, I'm getting more and more depressed the more and more the weather starts to suck. Because it sucked. I mean,
listen to the guy that just saw like 12 friggin' races and we ain't seen
Let me
none.
explain something to you.
I'm actually at 11. So
your life is not nearly as depressing as anybody that operates a salt truck.
Yeah, because
they got a bad winter.
You know what though? Those guys.
You have snow days.
Yeah, they're glad.
No,
you kidding?
No. For the record,
not complaining at all.
I'm out of snow days now. So
Melissa's already over.
Yeah, we're going to be over. Next
Melissa's
one, we're over. So then they're giving.
They got more crap going on tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
they put into this new deal. Dig this. I don't know how they do it up there at Oswego, but on the lay days, staff still has to be there at normal time.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So we go. Nope. No.
Yeah.
Nope.
You can argo that.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. What's the deal with the new rule where you can't connect to the guy's bumper? And I only saw that. I watched the Nationwide race, and they put the guy to the rear for it.
Yeah, you can only stay
engaged.
engaged.
Racing that we've seen the last couple of years in the restricted play races, that whole tandem thing, that was silly. That's not racing. That's like a relay race.
How can you make a rule where you can't touch each other? It's racing.
No,
you can only stay engaged in the drive for X amount. You can't stay locked through the corner.
You can bump him. You can't push him. You can't.
It's still racing.
For instance, you can't come out of turn 2 at Daytona and push the guy all the way down the backstretch because that's a rule.
It's stupid.
Why is it stupid?
Why do you need a rule? It's racing. Let them race.
By the way, there's also out of bounds.
If you don't like how the cars run like that, change it.
No,
you know what's stupid?
They did. They said you can't do that
anymore.
They
did change it.
But no, that's a dumb rule because now it's like, all right, this guy.
You don't think that the out of bounds situation is a dumb rule?
They're all dumb.
Okay.
Don't
No,
make
you
cars-
know what's dumb?
That's-
is that the fact that they still have restrictor plates and pack these up in 43 car packs. That's friggin' dangerous as hell.
Melissa,
That's dumb.
Okay, you know what? So it's better to have
my
them
wife and I, my
This
wife
is
and
gonna-
I watched this whole race. Okay, she had never seen NASCAR from back in the '90s, and when I saw this, I'm like, man, this is the way that it used to be. She goes, that's crazy, and I said, yeah, it's crazy because it gets real expensive here in about a half a lap when somebody does this and takes out
It
half
is.
the
It's
field.
stupid.
Because that's the way. I mean, that's the
That's
way I
not real
remember it
racing.
from the '90s.
43
Okay,
car packs
so you know
are
what?
not real
Let's
racing.
watch. You know what?
I'm
Let's
not
make
saying it's
every
not real
race
racing.
like California, where the guy gets out in the lead and nobody passes. Let's do that. Because if
Look-
you didn't do that, that's what Daytona would be.
Mike, Daytona was that in the '70s when
They-
people were winning by 7 laps.
I don't want to watch that crap.
Well, they wouldn't be winning by 7 laps.
Okay,
today,
5.
but-
Sorry.
But
Okay, but you do you
It-
you
my
will
point
say
is
that
without the draft and the
my
restricted
point
plates, the
is-
racing
sure,
would be
isn't
so
it
you will say
exciting?
that
terrible.
you will say that was the way that it was,
now
right?
listen, I'm not saying it's not exciting to watch. It's exciting to a point. First and foremost, the most important thing that NASCAR always makes you know is it's supposed to be safe. Safety always is supposed to come first.
that again for me.
That is the most unsafe type of racing in the history of motorsports. It's awful.
Okay, history of
How
motorsports
is 25 car
probably an
pileup
overstatement.
safe as opposed to 2 or 3?
History of
You want to explain it? Explain it to me.
history of motorsports is a bit
Take
of
a
an
2 or 3
overstatement.
car wreck as opposed to 25. Which one's safer?
A modern wreck, as compared to
A
a wreck
modern
25
wreck?
years ago. That wreck with 25 cars on it is safer than 2 cars wrecking 25 years ago at Daytona,
Hands down.
without a doubt.
Wrecking cars 20 years ago at Indy.
Yeah, everywhere. Guys died. Now they don't die. I mean, I'm not
Well,
saying
they
they
do.
can't. I'm not saying they can't, but I'm saying they're far more safer. The driver's in a
Well, of
cocoon.
course they're safer.
There you go. So then, what,
Uh,
isn't that, didn't he just agree
No,
with the point we were
we're
trying
talking
to make?
about. You're saying Indy cars. You're using motorsports in general. Of course, all of racing
Right.
is safer.
So you're saying it's dangerous to have them in a
Hey,
pack?
Mike,
It's
Mike,
still.
Your
Mike, ready for
chances of hurting somebody
Yeah, I know.
in 25 car pileups are a lot greater than a 2 car wreck.
I don't think
No,
so.
that's
You don't
not.
think so?
Not now.
because you've
modern
got-
day, no.
Come on, you're
They're
out of
just
your
as
mind.
safe.
The cars
They're just
are
as safe.
Look at when Austin Dillon took out his teammates. Those cars packed in on top of each other, and they just kind of mired together in a glom. They went up to the fence, and they came back down. There's guys that are coming into the accident, sure, but those guys, I don't think that they were going to be hurt. I mean, the risk of those guys getting
You don't
upside down.
think they could be hurt?
Not as much as a chance in a 2-car wreck 25 years
going
ago.
by your notes, yes, I don't think that they're going to be hurt nearly the percentage of them being injured in that accident are
There's a
significantly
lot
reduced
less than a guy
than if they're
in a
they're
2-car
2
wreck
by
25
2.
years ago.
Because
Without a doubt.
Never mind 25 years ago. We're
I
talking
thought
about
you
now.
you just said the history of motorsports.
Yes.
You just said history of motorsports. You just
Well, he's
said.
changing his argument.
25 car pileups are ridiculously dangerous.
Who cares?
When you got a pack of 43 cars,
You know what? So let's,
and they
you know
all
what?
wad them up, and
you know
it's
what?
15,
Let's
20,
just,
25
you know what?
cars
Let's
in the
make
wreck.
everybody
you don't think
go.
that's dangerous?
Let's make everybody go 7 miles an hour and let them drive around because that's safe.
I
If
can't
it was
wait-
safe,
No,
it wouldn't be
don't
racing.
Stupid. Come on.
But you're
NASCAR
making an argument like it's dangerous. No,
How is
kidding.
that not dangerous?
It's racing. It's supposed to be dangerous.
Oh my god.
If it wasn't dangerous, half the people that watch it wouldn't watch it, and half the people that do it wouldn't do it. Right or wrong?
That's whatever. I'm done.
No, but
That's retarded.
you have 2 cars going nose to tail at the bottom
At
of the
200
track.
miles an
They
hour.
have the entire distance up to the wall. When you've got them stacked 3 wide, this guy gets loose. They're going to pile on top of each other. I mean, your energy dispersal is significantly different than when you go from the bottom to the top at 200 miles an hour. 200 miles an hour. Don't look at me like I'm an asshole. I mean,
Well, you are that.
I'm not even looking at you. What are you talking about?
He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
He's gonna pout now on the couch.
Pout now.
You're gonna pout.
Pout? You guys are being ridiculous.
You're being ridiculous.
How am I being ridiculous?
Because you're saying it's
we're
not
being
safe.
ridiculous because we're not saying he's right.
I'm not saying he's right. I wholeheartedly believe that you're wrong. It's racing. It's dangerous. Yes, we get it. But if you don't put them together like that, it's going to be the most boring damn thing you've ever watched.
That's
And
what they
what's the
do
point?
every other week.
I don't want to watch. I don't watch it every other week for a reason, because it sucks.
Oh my god.
I watch Daytona, I watch Martinsville, I watch Bristol, and I try to watch Talladega. That's it. Why? Because it's exciting. They're side by side and they're racing. They go everywhere else. Maybe Richmond. Okay, they're not bad there, but everywhere else they suck. It sucks. Watching cars drive
Atlanta's
around,
good because you can always get somebody.
Right,
somebody
but
runs on
watching
the
Matt
top.
Kenseth lead 179 laps to 200 of Michigan sucks. Or in California, nobody wants to watch that crap. Am I right or wrong? I mean,
Go on.
what would you rather watch? Guys in a pack racing?
I don't like the pack race per se, But it certainly makes it interesting because you can be third, then 30th, and then third in a sequence of 3 laps.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like that dynamic. The roller skate or the roller derby style thing where you push a guy around the track and
I don't like the 2-car deal, but
I mean, look at the finish they had at Talladega when they were they were 4 wide across the line coming to the stripe. And I can't remember what year it was, and I think Jimmy Johnson or Dale Jr. ended up winning that race. But they drove around a bunch of people. You look at. I mean, if you're going to isolate 1 or 2 accidents, which was worse? The accident at the end of this year's Daytona 500 or when Carl Edwards, it was 2 cars going nose to tail,
fence, right?
And Keselowski sent Edwards flying into the fence.
Yeah.
That was 2 cars, not a pack.
I don't know. It is what it is. We can sit and argue about it, but it is either you like it or you hate it.
I think we just did.
It was good.
We did sit and argue.
That was fun. I had fun. Did you have fun, John?
And John is still.
Did you have fun, John?
Had a blast.
John is fuming over there.
I know
because we are so stupid and idiotic.
But I just got to ask, John, what type of racing do you want to see at Daytona?
You want to see a real automobile race. That is not a real race. What kind of race have you ever gone to other than Daytona or Talladega, a restrictor plate race, that you see a race like that? That's not real racing.
But what would you rather see? You'd rather see like what we see.
Those
in California?
I'd rather see a normal race where there's cars all over the racetrack.
You just clarified that. You just nailed it on the head because it's a restrictor plate race. Those are anomaly instances.
And that's what I started with, why they shouldn't have restrictor plate races.
But then it's not.
But then you argue back about the safety.
Yeah, it's not safe.
But it'll be boring. Do you care if it's boring? You don't
care
if
it's
it's
boring. It is the
boring.
most unsafe style of racing I've ever seen.
No, sprint car racing is, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I'd rather get in a sprint car than run one of those pack deals.
But you're crazy. Utterly, that's just a stupid statement.
No, it's
100%. A Sprint Cup car is way safer than a sprint car. Way safer.
I'm
a million times safer.
Completely agree. Completely
I
agree.
and the confines, I didn't say a Cup car wasn't safer.
And the confines in which you're racing are also safer. Would you not agree with that?
The type of racing that you're in those style races are not
in a sprint
safe.
car versus a Sprint Cup car. A Sprint Cup car. Not only is the car safer, but where you're racing is also safer.
Safer. Everything's safer about it. Everything.
Hands down.
But you would rather get in a sprint car? You feel safer in a sprint car?
I didn't say I felt safer. I said I would
You
rather
said you'd
get
rather.
in one.
I mean,
no. Well, you'd rather get in a non-wing one. So you can
I would get in one.
Yeah, you didn't clarify.
I would get in a sprint car and do that before I would get in that pack crap.
I'd like to.
I wouldn't do that for
an awesome
anything.
poll would be to ask the drivers in the field and what they say. Now, Tony Stewart would say a sprint car simply because he wants to go racing,
right?
Not because of anything else. Because the racing sucks. Kyle Larson would say sprint car, but again, if you're talking pure safety aspect, you're getting in a Sprint Cup car, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I'm still having a little bit of trouble figuring out where the argument lies in this.
Well, we're just
because I think there's 3 or 4 different arguments at play here, 3 or 4 different situations.
Dean brings up a point. He says when the cars crash in a pack, they're going the same speed and they kind of absorb the impact.
That's what I'm saying.
If you got one guy going 200 miles an hour, another guy going 100 miles an hour, you hit. Now, obviously, there's a problem there. And then if you don't have the restrictor plates, then that would happen.
Right. Absolutely.
So
you'd also have when you're going 200 miles an hour and you hit another guy doing 200 miles an hour,
you're going the same speed.
You rub each other. You all kind of mush into the corner. It's the guys coming in from behind. That's
the scarier part. But unfortunately, that's what you get. I mean, whether we like it or not, I would rather at least see them race. I mean, I think it's neat. They've kind of gotten away from this though, where guys can come from like 20th and work their way up through the field and get to the front.
No, I think
because it used to be
look at what Kyle Busch did. He started 37th and he was leading by lap 50.
But you used to be able to be dead last on lap 97 and lap 100 you're the leader. Like that, they've kind of that side of it's gone. You can't. I don't think you can draft your way back up through like you used to be able to.
Well, I think that
you couldn't last weekend.
I think the quality
they get all lined up in a line. You couldn't go nowhere.
Right. That's exactly
the quality. Nobody could pull out a line.
The quality of cars definitely.
Oh yeah, the cars are good, but it's not. Yeah, it's just not what it used to be. I think it's now
there's more parity.
Yeah, and the cars are hooked up more. They're right down on the ground now. They lowered the ride heights.
And you can't get off of one another.
Right, you can't because as soon as you do, you're gone.
Because of those restrictor plates that make it so unsafe.
Well, it's not the restrictor plates. There, it's the draft. You have to be in the draft.
Have to. And you can't push your buddy.
No, that's dumb. But whatever. That I find.
That about it.
No, I mean,
what is your rush?
It's 8:28. We only have 6 minutes.
Oh my God, Jim's gonna show up. We got to get out of here. Jesus Christ!
And you guys can.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you guys will leave.
Yeah, I'll go home. Yeah.
Well, of course we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
We're not gonna stay here.
Yeah. I'm gonna sleep on a couch. No, I do want to send out a shout out to some of my friends listening for the first time tonight that I saw in Florida. So, Ladies, nice to have you listening.
Jesus.
I had to. Bums, don't give me a look. First time listeners, John. First time.
Naughty nerve.
But yeah, so that's that. And that's about it. Now I got nothing, man, because
Okay.
racing's
Oh, now
done.
you're all done.
Now racing's done.
All right,
I got a month until I go to a friggin' racetrack again.
A month.
That's what it's going to be.
Come on.
I'm telling you, man.
Jesus
I'm
Christ,
telling you
a
right now.
month.
You look at
Please.
the way the weather is, there's no way we're getting racing in the next few weeks. No way.
Probably not.
2 weeks from now.
I don't think so. 8th and 9th? You're saying the 8th and the 9th? I'll be at Lincoln.
There'll be a race
Hagerstown.
somewhere.
Got to say thanks to Justin Haers for joining us on the show. Nick Guererri also for joining us, getting ready for
Levi's.com.
a season over at Canandaigua Motorsports Park. You know, had some good conversation tonight. We're going to be off next week. Mike's taking off. I'm taking off. So
I'm taking off.
Where the hell's
thought
he
you said
Where
going?
am I going?
Yeah, well, you're going to try, aren't you?
There ain't no racing.
I
Yeah,
thought
there
you
ain't
were
going to be
try.
no friggin' racing.
Ah, well.
At least that's what he says.
That's-
Where am I going to go?
You're gonna
Luigi
go to
already
Regent
postponed.
Putting a fork in 105.
next week.
Next week.
Next week there'll be racing.
Lincoln? You think Lincoln's racing next week?
Yeah.
Want to
see you
bet?
in a- We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bet what?
Bet?